Yeah, put it up. Okay, welcome on this 14th of Libra, almost full moon. Of course, the full moon will happen for us around 1 a.m. tonight or tomorrow morning, I guess. And it will be essentially right above Montreal. We're gonna get a mid-heaven full moon here. So the big trucks and all the, energy is swinging us around. And Lauren was talking about how the interpretation that was written for the live today was speaking to her. And I was talking about the fact that it was actually written really using the style of Dane Rudhyar by an AI. I was just pointing out the aspects to use. And Dane Rudhyar, we were talking about him. But right now, when the live was programmed, this is what I didn't say. The moon is exactly on the minute of my birth sun. 5 degrees, 37 minutes, Aries. So we didn't really pick it. You said 10 a.m. So I put the chart in, and then boom, the moon was like on my sun. And I was like, okay, she's got a touch somehow.
It's amazing how astrology like verifies itself.
Mm.
And that, like you were saying today, like you were reading again, and not be overwhelmed by the language, and just pick up on the energy of what's speaking to you. And that's actually really the confirmation of astrology, is the feeling, when you resonate with the astral. And it's in your astrology is really your interpretation, but you're just understanding the movement and how things move in the sky is really so beautiful. And I'm like a beginner. I don't understand the language entirely, but I love the exposure to it. I love new words, and like this, I feel like a kid again, like learning all over again what astrology is for the first time, really.
Mm. Yeah, and it's so beautiful too, the words with all of the symbols and the asterisks and the way that it's written. It looks so deep and fancy. You're like, wow, this must mean something important. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna not just gonna observe in the beauty of it, and then also um that macrocosm is like training ourselves to see things from a bigger picture, and not always deciphering every little detail will help us more
right.
fully understand it and come into that wholeness better. So I think to reflect how it talks about wholeness today and coming into landing into wholeness after integrating almost like information, right? We're coming into like really just doing it without having blocks. My biggest block is I have to routine. It's hard for me to just do what's important in the
Mm-hmm.
moment and break out of routine, because it's that thing that's still hiding deeper emotions for me. And
Mm.
so today I did that though. And yet, even though I still missed my daughter's bus, I I I knew that I could continue to just let go more, and she was able to come garden with me for a bit before school instead. So, but it's like a letting go into, can I actually do it? Can I actually do the real work that is always there, that I'm always actually pushing aside?
Yeah,
And
you're gonna make
and
me cry. Like resonating with me so much.
to come into wholeness, and even that, yeah, into that reflecting like, oh, I want to be healthy and exercise, but I also have a feminine body, so doing like certain things is not good for my feminine energy.
Mm.
I don't want to just be pushing myself so hard, um, and but I also want to be using my muscles and energizing energy through my muscles. So this morning when I did yoga and I did my push-ups and everything, I did it with an aspect of Tai Chi. I did it with more flow and movement throughout, and balance, and listening to my body, and allowing meditation moments, or I just pick up a leaf because it just was looking beautiful, and I just decoded this ancient secrets within the lines and just let myself enjoy the moment.
Oh,
So
you're speaking my language. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I've been doing that since I was a kid. I remember the first time that actually kind of happened to me, or my first memory of it. And I was lost literally in a grain of sand. I was on the beach and I was laying on my stomach, and I just picked up this grain of sand, and the way the sun was coming through it was like, it felt so huge. This little grain of sand felt like this massive like rock to me. And yeah, that was like the first time that I was like, I don't know how long I was there for looking at that little grain of sand, but it felt like forever. Yeah, I
an
love that.
infinite moment. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do that often, like a feather when I'm kayaking. If I see something floating that catches my eye, I'm like, ooh, gotta go investigate. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
you see here, well, I could share it in the screen, but you can't see. There's a part in the description that says 14th. Well, it's the notation is supposed to be read 14th, but people might read 14 degrees. It looks like a degree sign. It's a larger degree sign. Oh, right. So the 14th of Libra, they used to call them shars in Babylon. They would divide, and the ancient Mayan calendar, the long calendar, which people misinterpreted as ending in 2012 because they thought there was 365 days, or whatever, but they used the 360 system, which is based on an equal division of the solar cycle.
like a circle,
Well, it doesn't really make a circle
360
because it
degrees.
goes north and south. That's why it's called
Right.
an ellipse, and it's called the ecliptic plane. So it's a special shape that the sun makes through the heavens, essentially. And if we divide that equally from the center, like 360 degrees equally, that's how we get the 360 degrees of the zodiac.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
that's the real time, solar-wise. So they don't correspond with days. And there's the Sabian symbols that were written about each degree. Each degree has a symbol. And Dane Rujar, for me is like, if you want to get into astrology, uh, yeah, there's a few authors that cover the basics, but if you want to get a really good astrologer, it's Dane Rujar.
Mm.
And he reinterpreted the 360 Sabian symbols, and that's what I use on my description here. So today is the 14th of Libra, and it says a noon siesta. The soul pauses amid activity to integrate vitality. And we've been testing his symbols. Like, you can test this day to day. You go on an astrology website. We have one that we use, and check the current position of the sun in the zodiac. And then I published my book has the 360 symbols of Rujar. You can test it. So like you were saying, you don't have to overanalyze. The symbols are not complex. They're short.
Mm-hmm.
They're meant to really inspire a feeling that you can test in your life at that time. Especially at the minute of your birth. So each person is born on a degree at a certain minute. So for me, it's 37 minutes. I said the moon is just exactly on there when we started, which is why I'm on fire, maybe. But for example, this is when I really don't want to ejaculate. And they say, Santos Bonacci talked about this when the moon passes over your birth sun, it really activates your kundalini, as you can maybe notice from I'm holding back. And if you check the minute of the sun, and when it falls right around your minute leading up to it, there's an increase of vitality in that person. So they're going to feel that degree, that radius better.
Mm.
So this is a practical method to test astrology for yourself. You can use the moon as well. She moves a lot faster.
And one of the things, sorry, did you
No,
have
that's it.
Yeah, one of the things that I started doing that really helped, and I've sort of gotten off of this habit, and I want to get back onto it again because it was really good, was to write the date astrologically, like where instead of writing the date on my journal, like September whatever year, yeah, I'll put like what degree the sun is at, and yeah, the
Like that.
degree in the
This
sign
is
that
the
it's
Oh,
in.
10th
yeah.
of Libra. So this is 4
Oh,
degrees ago.
okay.
And sometimes I would include what phase the moon was at, which was really good. That really got me in tune with my cycle. It was a way better.
Yeah.
It's really
So
better.
important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of putting down this
Mm.
January blah blah blah, like just then you actually that's how you learn astrology really. And I was learning a lot better when I was doing that than like I haven't been writing in a journal lately, so I
This is a really
Yeah.
good illustration,
and
actually.
even when I would label
Oh, wow.
something, like when I would label
You see the
our
Rahu and Ketu, the symbols, that they're like horseshoes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one is
Yeah.
upside up, the other one is upside down. That's how they should be written. And the center is the center of Earth, right? The North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
And those two paths are the paths of the sun and the moon. So Rahu and Ketu is where they meet, where their paths meet,
where they
where they
cross each other.
cross. That's
Yeah.
why we get the eclipses there. So
Yeah.
it's the line of karma. It's where we get pulled
Oh,
from and
okay.
into. And when the moon crosses Rahu like she did recently, there's a surge of lunar energy because now the moon is north of the path of the sun. So her form is going to dominate, her form creative ability is going to be stronger than the sun's hum of vitality, like
Yeah.
that feeling of belonging. So we get
Mhm.
more into the mundane, the lunar, I call it. The moon
Yeah.
is said to be close to the earth. So she's more dense. She's more into creating form, assimilating, integrating. The sun is more stable. The sun doesn't go past the tropics. The tropics are stable. That's why it's associated with gold. So those two, just studying those two, people get into like Jupiter and Mars, and it's great, but there's so much to learn just from the sun and moon, even just looking at them. I spend
Mm.
so much time looking at the sun and the moon and dissipating my intellectual analysis, my memories, what I think of it, what it's making me think of it, like letting go of these thoughts, not holding on to them, and letting the sun connect and speak to me. And that's how I proceed in my astrology, and also keeping track of where the sun is in proportion in relation to our sun at birth. It's very important because
Yeah.
that's our personal cycle. So for
Right.
you entered your Aries period recently, right, at your sun return, the 4th of Virgo or something, I believe.
Yeah.
So the 4th of Libra, which was my opposition, for me was like my Libra point. For you started your Taurus cycle.
Wow.
So the zodiac is really just a division of the cycle, and you apply it everywhere. Like the
Yeah.
lunation, there's an author who's done this, and this comes from Dane Rudhyar. The lunation can be thought of as a zodiac as well. The new moon, when the conjunct, is the Aries point, and this is very, very. If you want to learn astrology fast, you can study the lunation.
Mm-hmm.
And the new moon is the Aries point. The full moon is the Libra point, the opposition of Aries. The quarter moons is Cancer and Capricorn when things turn around. And there's a whole book called Cycle Lunation. Oh my God, what is it? Lunation in Astrology or something. That's Dane Rudhyar. He completely he just blew the lid off when he wrote that book. And there's so many people who haven't read it, astrologers,
Now it's called
because
Sabian astrology.
no, that
Oh, is it
those are the
different?
symbols, the 360
Oh,
Sabian symbols. He also wrote a book called The Lunation Cycle, and
oh, okay.
he divides it in 8. He doesn't use the zodiac.
It's probably, do we have these in the
So you have the
library?
new moon, the crescent moon, the waxing quarter moon, the waxing gibbous moon, the full moon, the waning gibbous moon, the waning quarter moon, the balsamic moon, and then the new moon. So he
Um,
divides these, say, 8 subtypes of moon.
Mm.
I
okay.
believe you're a waxing moon. I'm a waxing moon. She's a
Yeah.
waning, like a waning full moon.
Yeah, the
And you
lunation,
can really see
especially
that
for
in people.
women,
It's
is
more
really
obvious
powerful.
than their sun sign,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we're
Yeah.
very lunar right now. This is a lunar world. So it may be in the golden age, you would see the sun more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you talk to Shivambu drinkers, the sun shines more, which is why they can take the sun more.
Mm.
That's true. Yeah, that is so true.
But the moon is important. People, this is the spiritual like thing. People will stumble on the moon, whether they call it that or not, and say, I renounce it, push it. But if you try and push the moon, that's lunar. So you're caught. You can't.
Yeah, we are thus affected by the moon.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna tell all the truth all the time,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that's the
okay.
moon,
Yeah.
right? It's a frustration. It's lunar. So the more you try and push the moon away, the more it sort of swings around. I like Shu Hengyi, the what is it called? Those monks, Shaolin
Mm.
in
Right.
Germany.
Shaolin.
But yeah, he has his own school now. He's a very cool guy,
Uh,
and he says, "Don't push, don't pull."
Yeah. Yeah, you just flow. And that's like the vitality, integrating the vitality. And that's what I'm feeling right now. And what you
yes.
were saying earlier.
Amen.
Yeah,
So
totally
like right now, it's
like
the full moon
Yes.
letting
coming,
go
and some
and
people are
letting
like,
that energy flow.
they're feeling like, I don't want it to be the full moon right now. I want it to be a new moon, right? They're more new moon type. They want things to like start fresh and like, yay. They don't want all of this like stuff to contemplate and oh my God, like this full moon is hardcore. That's why people go drinking.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, that is a good point. You know, it can be a lot, but if we're doing the work, it actually is just like it's like a free ride, or it's more calm if we're doing the work. But if we're avoiding it, it can be much more intense. Especially for those of us who are intuitive, who are like, all right, we feel the work we need to do, but if we avoid it, we're really gonna feel it more than most people. Why are other people not irritable, but like I'm on the spiritual path? Well, it's because you know the work you're supposed to do. You're not just eating cheeseburgers and lounging out on the couch. Like, so if you're avoiding that, you're really going to get your spirit guides, your nerves to want to awaken you to
Mm.
what you need to do. And once you're doing that, it is calm. It is nourishing. But the
Mm.
moon can always get that bad stigma of like, oh, the full moon. Oh, there's so much information. There's so much coming in. Well, it is just like we circle back to not looking at all the little details of it and letting it be a macrocosm instead,
Yeah.
letting it come and bring us into wholeness.
Yeah, and there lies the vitality, right?
Which is
When you
Yeah,
basically,
don't take the cheeseburger and the beer and you go and you connect and you do something that you connect to that flow of energy, like a different flow.
yeah, and what you were saying about letting it, not overanalyzing everything is like sort of relates to what I was saying when don't pull.
Mm.
Don't try and like grasp more than it's giving you.
Mm.
Just let what
exactly.
comes to you come and let the rest just go by. I like
Exactly.
the Dune, Frank Herbert, when they say mind fear is a mind killer. I'll let it pass through me and over me. Let
Mm-hmm.
the fear pass through you, and I shall remain. Right?
Exactly. exactly. It's just like Anna said, pick up the grain of sand, and for me, pick up the leaf, and just
Mm.
for a moment pause and let wonder and be in awe of life, and just
Gosh.
without thinking, just letting yourself be playful, like that childlike energy.
Yeah, I really think we needed,
A
well,
noon siesta.
an integration of that. That's
Yeah,
really like that, allowing yourself to feel that joyful energy of a child interacting with nature, and
yeah,
that wonder, allowing that, remembering that, and allowing that feeling to be there, and not feeling guilty about it. That, oh, you should be going and doing something productive.
exactly what
That
I was
is
gonna say.
productive, in
Hmm.
fact.
Exactly. It is essential to, it is what life actually is. You know, that is actually the real life, is letting yourself sit in the sun, letting yourself be with the things that are calling to you in nature, letting you receive the lessons and messages and communication of everything around you. And what's
Yeah.
unlike life is schedules. And what's unlike life is, all this. So at least if we're going to live dualistically in this, we're going to live in the somewhat artificial flow of life, we also need to bring in the natural every day. And if anything,
Yeah.
for me, it has to be in the morning. I really want to make this, now that I settled into it and did it today, I'm like, yep, this is definitely happening every morning. But what deflects it, and I'll just end with this. What deflects it is going right into a pump, right into the force of a push up. Like, I want to exercise, I want to do yoga, I want to do this, but I want to first just walk onto the grass. Then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to feel the sun on my face. And then maybe I'll sit down. And then maybe I'll just sit there for a moment and just be still and not force the, I must do this, I must do this. I already know I want to do it. So let that go and let it naturally arise and guide me into that wholeness. Especially good for feminine bodies, especially good to nurture the feminine energy. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I have a feminine moon, so I can relate. And
Yeah.
um, I've been meaning to film my, workout. I call it body magic,
Mm.
which is really what it is for me. And it's what you said, um, with my own style, but basically the training part of it happens at the end, or late middle, because then I'm like all warmed up. I've played, and like I'm pumped. When I play, I get pumped. But then I'm like super pumped. I'm getting a bit winded, and then I'm like, okay, what do I want to practice now?
Mm.
What do I want to get better at? And I have a second house son, so I'm big on skills. I learn languages. That's me. But
Yeah.
I do my training. I do my things that I'm not good at, which is maybe less fun, but it's fun in its own way. I love learning.
Yeah.
And then I end
Mhm.
with a reintegration into play.
Mm.
So I integrate what I've learned and become better at now into my play. And my dance now is new. It just changed. I changed my dance. I changed myself. I created a quantum tunnel collapse. I just entered a new path in my life because I learned this new move a bit better. And now it's integrated in my dance. So I've created a whole lunation cycle, right? I've created the
Mm.
desire to work out, and then in Leo and Virgo I actually learned something new, and then in Libra I started integrating. And then in Pisces, and that's what the end is I'm sort of meditating, getting back on the grass
Yeah.
and letting that, moment pass and breathing.
Olivier, I love that you mentioned the moon cycle as in your integration into action practice. I can see it. I see that now. That's beautiful. Mm.
That's why the lunation cycle is such a good, I think, stepping stone into astrology. Like, people
Yeah.
say I don't know astrology, but they're lying. they don't
Just
say
don't
that
remember.
because they just said I like to do things in the morning. And the morning
Yeah.
is astrology. It's when the sun is in the 12th house. So you know, they do different things in winter. They work in the day or they work in the night. Like they already are doing
Yes,
astrology.
it's intuitive. They just haven't seen it as a taken into
Yeah.
a form like that. But the form and that detail is important too, so we can actually consciously
Yeah.
understand to be able to build a more solid platform on what we're doing and structure it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it
So
is. It's
they
just as
start with the
important.
sun. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is really get into the lunation because that's where you're
yeah,
gonna learn about that duality of astrology, and it's the more mysterious part. The moon is probably why people are uncomfortable with astrology. It's because the moon is so confronting. When you start
yeah.
to study the lunation cycle, you start like someone who's older, less healthy, for example, or just less healthy. But someone who's older has become more crystallized, right? So their moon is sort of like that's why we call them brittle. So they
Hmm.
become like old rags on a ship. There's a good book called The Long Way, and he regretted washing his rag because his rag was his weather telltale. He would look at the rag and say, "Oh, the rag is stiff." So the weather was gonna be this way. It's almost like better than the barometer. So when I watch the combust moon, which is we have the live just before the combust moon. So tomorrow the moon will be combust. So when I see the combust moon, I see this older person in my life, and she's like the old rag, and I know she's gonna be difficult that day, and like clockwork, I swear, it works.
So what happened? He washed the rag and then it didn't
Yeah, he
react
washed it, right?
properly.
And
It
that
was no
wasn't work,
longer his barometer.
right? But I would love to help heal that person. That she doesn't need to remain brittle. So I wouldn't regret washing the rag. But it's not really up to me. I can just only do what my part is, which is, to,
Right.
yeah. It's an
Mm.
interesting dance, you know, when somebody is in a difficult situation or more difficult than me, and I know what to do, and it's sort of an ongoing situation, right?
It
What do you
is
say?
difficult. Yes. Hmm. It is, and it is the healer's journey. I think the
Mm.
shaman's journey is to really, Lee, you're on that. You're in it and on it, and already aware of it. And we can't just like them, or they can't just turn a light switch on and understand what they need to do. We can't just turn the light switch on and understand how to process that emotion right away. It's a journey. It's two different journeys, but they're both a journey. And we have embarked consciously on our journey. They have yet to really put their foot into that. So by you continuing to be an example, they'll go, I want to do this journey, but I want to do it on my own time when I'm ready. And maybe they'll slowly, like, for example, yesterday, I delivered some gluten-free vegan food to a couple family members of mine because they really like my cooking. And then one of them has third or fourth stage cancer. And it's, I've talked to him about urine therapy and everything. And, but, and it's sad to watch him do chemo. But at the same time, they're feeling like, I understand what they feel, and that they feel like that's their best bet. And it's scary, why try something else when they're unsure of that, when they have heard of people being successful in that way with that. But the thing is, it's already gone so far that for them to start now is a risk, because for them, because they don't understand enough about something to take a chance right now. And that's the
You know
hardest
what?
part.
It's a risk for their soul.
They just aren't. And we
It's
have
a
to
lot
understand,
It's too much
emotionally.
power for them. It would hurt them.
Yeah.
it's not people are arriving at different points in their life, and we have to accept that if someone is choosing to exit when their soul contract is up, we cannot force any change to that. All we can do, and so what this beautiful thing is, though, I delivered him some food because I was just called to make him some food, and he loves it. And so lately, every like week or two, I just drop him off food, and he loves it. And I feel like I just can. I don't know. It's always vegan and gluten free, and he loves it. He's like, I never thought I'd like stuff like this, and I wasn't planning on this to try to shift him or anything. It's just like I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And now like they think I'm less crazy because they're like, wow, her food's not crazy. It actually tastes good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to I would love to do a little workshop or exposure thing on like conscious eating. And yeah, I
Yeah.
love like because really it's just clean. It's just clean food.
Let's do
So you actually like are just
absolutely,
tasting.
Anna.
Yeah, you're just tasting what's there. Like
Exactly.
minus the salt, which we've all know what that tastes like. Like now can we have a chance to taste, like, for example, in my cooking, I don't use salt, like none. And this is the first time, this is the longest I've eaten this clean in my life.
Well, you don't just not use salt. You don't use anything that might possibly have sodium chloride in it.
Clean water.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Clean water.
You guys are
clean food.
intriguing me
Yeah,
so
like
much
spring
into this.
water.
And
We were talking about that. Spring
I'm
water
just like wowed by it all.
gets the sodium chloride, for example, that we sprayed on the road can easily go down into the water table.
It's so crazy.
But there's also
Yeah.
naturally sodium chloride everywhere,
Yeah.
right? It's in the sea.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of other stuff, like
The
everywhere.
number one killer of
Aluminum,
man to this day is dirty water.
Chlorine doesn't just tie to sodium. There's all kinds of other things. Like there's thousands of inorganic minerals in spring water that they're gonna be a stimulating effect. So people get defensive about their spring water because it's a stimulator. It's more drug-like than pure water.
Wow.
But those minerals, once the energy has been transferred to your field from the crystal, which has that vibration and creates a stimulating effect, now are tied into your organs and calcifying and solidifying and creating cancer.
And it just
So
to deviate a little bit,
that's just a simple example of why avoiding the sodium chloride is such a big deal for us.
Yeah.
I just wanted to speak quickly about change, about making changes in our lives. Because
Yeah.
for me, it was really confronting, the whole salt thing.
Yes,
For-
it is
for me,
confronting.
I was teaching
She had her
lacto-
hand up at me while she was saying that. She's like, calm down.
I was teaching lacto fermentation. I had like a salt collection. And people make whole businesses out of this salt. So it's like really confronting. Like how much do you want to change in your life? Now I don't teach lacto fermentation anymore. If I had a salt company, I don't know how I would feel.
Well, when people in the 90s,
There's a lot, right? For some
Right.
people, it's really a
Confronting was
lot.
such a good choice of words. I love that. That's exactly what I would describe a lot of my experience as confronting and because you're embarking on the confrontation though, it's like,
I was
all right.
confronting myself. I'm like looking at all of my salt. I'm like, what now?
When
and then
people say,
feeling guilty about how I taught that, how I told people how, oh, this is good. And now I'm not saying that anymore. I've changed my mind. And
Right.
just be willing to be wrong. Yeah.
And learn more. Yeah, Lee, I'm just, you keep shifting me every time I see you talk about it. And I'm like, whoa. And so more and more though, just like back to, where people are asleep in certain ways, more and more, I'm like at first I was like, oh, that's too much for me right now. Oh, but I'm like, but he's probably right. And I'm just like, I can't take that information in yet.
It just came to me. I wasn't even chasing the information after 3 years of Shivambu, because I was actually drinking more.
I knew about the whole salt thing, and I didn't even tell him because I
knew.
told
me after like a year or two, and you stopped salting things.
Right.
But I wouldn't salt things, but I wouldn't like avoid a pizza or something. But
now we do.
Yeah, like I wouldn't buy salted nuts. I would buy nuts, and then
Right.
in Mexico, I got poisoned by eating nuts. Like I kept poisoning myself because I was like experimenting. I'm such a lab, you know, I'm like a walking lab, and I test stuff on myself. Like I
Yeah.
burned myself with aged chivambu on a wound. I tested it. I burnt myself. It creates an alkaline burn. So now I
Yeah.
know, right?
Now we reduce it.
You use reduce.
Reduce it.
Yeah.
So that's why I know. And I poisoned myself with sodium chloride. I took like a year to poison myself with sodium chloride. Like feeling it, every inch, every millimeter of it, I would feel the poisoning in my kundalini over and over and over and over and over.
It was
and
so
over and
hardcore
over.
coming off salt.
And then I started feeling
Wow.
once we got
I felt
here,
like
we
it
get
was
off,
heroin or something.
we got off salt.
Wow.
I've
and
never taken heroin, but I was like, is this what it's like?
like we were
Wow.
ramping it down a lot. We were down to the sandwich. We had this really cute, because of the spot, you know, we wanted to go hang out, and we had the sandwich, and it had cheese
Yeah.
and bread. So when we
And
started
whatever.
taking down the salt, and then we came here, we got off salt, and we started drinking pure water. It was like a shift happened in my body.
Wow.
it's
So
like
I got to get on
now
the pure
I-
water thing.
And it's like now I feel that vitality really coming into my body now. It's so
Mm.
crazy. The astrology of the day, it really is like that. It's like
Wow.
so
Yeah.
appropriate for me right now.
So much, Anna. Yeah. So you guys are saying get distilled. We're told don't drink distilled water, right?
It's funny now here in
I know,
Canada,
right?
the grocery stores have huge, like a whole section in the water section is a huge distilled water wall. And and it was like kept being sold out every time I go by. People are buying pure water. My father told me he was drinking that. My, my stepmother, my mother, everybody was already buying distilled water. So there's like places where you ask for distilled water, like in, I don't know, in Europe somewhere. They're like, why do you want to buy that? They're like scared for me. I'm like, I would just say, I want distilled water. Just
But
do you have it?
a lot of people that run high quality espresso machines, they're using the purest water they can get, because otherwise
Right.
it just messes with their equipment.
What
and
they
it's
see
just
what
bad.
happens in the body in their machine,
Yeah.
which is funny. But yeah, we've
do
done
you
for a long
add-
time.
Do you add anything to it, or you just drink it distilled?
Well, we add our herbs sometimes. Like I rarely drink
right.
water by itself. I'll put with lemon.
Okay.
Big machines going by.
Yeah, the farm trucks go by. So yeah, I rarely drink water by itself. It's nice to put some lemon in there because it like
Usually
light.
when I'm drinking distilled water, I'll just I have a tea ball in here right now, and I'll put in enough hot distilled water to cover the tea ball, and then I'll let it brew, and then after it kind of cools a bit, I'll add my shivambu.
Ah, yeah. There you go. Perfect.
And
Great.
this is actually just a refill of shivambu, because now the leaf is really like loose in there, or
Yeah.
hydrated, so it's easy to get off more. And then I wash everything in distilled water. Okay, not everything, but like the things I'm gonna cook, like rice or beans or whatever. If
yeah,
I'm
like
soaking
not the
them,
apples.
no,
Yeah.
and I'd wash them in distilled water with a bit of shivambu in there, and you'll be amazed at how much comes off your rice
Wow.
and stuff when you do that, man.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Wash
Wow.
your buckwheat and
Whoa.
everything. Your dates, your dry fruit,
And then when
your
you
nuts,
cook that,
your
Wow.
almonds. Put
And then
some aged plasma with distilled. It's like a cleaner.
and then
Now,
I
do you
cook.
guys? I
All
think
the
you cook
cooking is
that.
distilled. If I cook
Yeah.
noodles, it's distilled water. Rice, it's distilled water.
Right. Right.
And you feel it. You feel how clean that is. And then you
People
really,
will love your food more.
yeah, you really understand why the tea people in China, the high end in Japan, they are using distilled water. They're like the purest, cleanest, because they just
You can
want to
get a-
taste the plant.
You can
They
get
don't want to taste. Boil some of your water that you use normally, and like have a sip of that, and then boil some distilled water
do you
and
mean
have a
boil?
sip of that. Because when you heat something up like that, it
oh, you
changes
mean
the
make a
flavor
drink?
of it.
Yeah, no. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying you can get a distiller.
No, but you'll be able to taste the difference, and then make a cup of tea with two of those, and you're gonna.
Well, they've done the
Like-
I'll
experiment.
try that. I'll
drinks.
try that.
they've done the experiment with coffee and stuff like that, and most people preferred the pure water version because it's less contains less solutes already. It's more of a solvent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pure water is a very good cleaner by itself. Like you can clean your countertop or your dishes with pure water with no soap. So if you have like a giant water still that runs on the sun and you have like a huge amount of pure water, you can use it to clean stuff. If you're a breatharian and you don't produce enough plasma to wash your clothes. Um,
Wow,
but
it's a good mention. Yeah.
but yeah, it costs $100 in the States on Amazon to get a machine that's made to run all day. So you can make 3-4 gallons a day. You just gotta refill it.
It auto
Did you
shuts
guys
off.
did you guys, I haven't looked yet, but did you guys put what you have for like your faucet or like shower or like, what you wash your dishes in, or a distiller, what kind to buy?
We just wash. I shared a picture of our distiller there
Yeah, okay.
in
I'll
the
take a look.
chat. I think actually.
Yeah, we don't live here. We're just here temporarily, so we don't have
Yeah.
a system for the shower and stuff. But yeah, that's another good point.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
Just, we're just showering with city water.
I want to install a tank, stainless steel, nice like food grade, that you pre-fill and with filtered tap water for your shower and stuff.
Oh, that's
And then
perfect.
you use that for your distiller. So you get the most pure water you can because the deposits are going to add up in your machine.
Right.
And
It's challenging to like
so
cleaning
Yeah.
the distiller.
yeah, usually they tell you use this chemical, like fill it up or halfway up, put this chemical in it, heat it up, let it heat up for like half hour. Then they tell you open it, scrub it, and it works because they use a powerful alkaline chemical. But you can use hot water if you wash it often, which I do every time I change the water. I wash it, and
Yeah.
I put some hot water just from the tap, and a bit of aged plasma, and I use a steel wool brush, and I just scrub for like a minute, and I try and scrub the parts that I see.
Yeah, and when you see that on the inside of the pot and like that's not going
Then
into
you see
your
the color of
body,
the water after
oh
you're
my
done.
God.
Yeah, that's what you've been
Yeah,
thinking.
that's what you're not getting into your
Wow.
body anymore. It's wild. And
One
makes
last thing.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's also funny because it's like, well, no wonder they tell us not to drink distilled water. But another thing, I'll say lastly, because I know we should probably end the live soon, but I will say I had a breakthrough realization about toothpaste this morning, and I'm like, I've been brushing my teeth with She Bamboo only for the past week, and I'm like, oh, this feels so much better. It's just me. It just feels like what I'm supposed to feel in my mouth, not like weird mint every morning. Like what? And then I'm not like swallowing what I don't know is supposed to be. Like, I'm like, what? Oh my God, I can't believe I just realized this. Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
I need to get on those. I need to get on those.
So
I just talked to it. I was like gonna talk into it like a
these are
microphone.
awesome. And I
Yeah.
put your Instagram there, fellow.
I love this.
Yeah.
That's Lauren's Instagram if you want to find her. Just like I like to show people where they can get in touch.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, and I like those toothbrushes. I have to try them. They look so cool.
You'll never go back to plastic after you do this. I'm not
No.
Yeah, and
Ew.
like
It takes more time because you're literally brushing each tooth at a time.
she used to make
Yeah.
really nice. She used to make
Oh
really
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
She used to make really nice toothpaste from moringa oil and charcoal. I think it was coconut charcoal in powder.
Yeah,
Mm.
and a bentonite clay.
And then we could probably make a better one now because we have more experience with herbs. Like
And those are good. You can ingest those. I'm saying too with the tubes and all that extra stuff is like all this high flavored minty,
Oh my
like
God.
it's
like
like
perfume.
it takes away the essence. I was like, oh, I have my essence. Like I like this. I don't need to feel like I need all this extra hyper mint flavor. Like I
Yeah,
feel
and
more me.
this stick has a flavor, obviously,
and you
to
could
it.
oh,
And it's
wow.
good for your teeth and gums. Like this stick, it's
That looks
funny
like
that
it.
it frays so good like that. Like it's
Yeah.
really ideal for a brush. But
Yeah.
it is like
I just
made for teeth.
you gave
Yeah.
or I got an idea together because Yerba Santa, which is amazing by the way. It means the sacred herb. It's from America. You probably find it easily everywhere in the States. Yerba Santa. That is really good for her dental, gums, everything. And I was just thinking, because I rinse my mouth with shivambu and I used to put herbs in my aged shivambu. I'm gonna put yerba santa in aged shivambu for like an hour and then rinse my mouth with that before,
We
like,
should try that.
yeah, it's a mouth rinse.
Ooh, Herba Santa, yeah, yeah.
Or you can use clove, anything that's nice for your gums, you could put it in your
Clove,
aged and then make
yeah.
a mouth
It's like
rinse
your
aged.
mouth rinse. Yeah. Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this was Mother Spirit, right? Motherspirit.cream.net. And we had Joanne. You can reach her there. Humphreys. That's her last name. And there's my pen name, Gold Dragon. But yeah, Fellow Wolf, right? That's Lauren. Get in touch with her on Instagram. We'll get her a website eventually. And yeah, thanks for watching. We hope some of you will join us next time. Come and ask your questions on the YouTube chat or in StreamYard. Join the community. We welcome all gentle, nice, open, respectful souls. Thank you. You want to say something?
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lauren, for showing up. It's such a pleasure to chat with you. Always.
Always, Anna.